Let me take you back to the beginning. I was young, broke, and full of dreams, but I had no success, no money, no track record, just a vision and a whole lot of uncertainty. I remember sitting alone in a quiet cafe, watching business professionals walk in and out confident, sharp, in control. And I looked down at myself, old shoes, thrift store clothes, barely scraping by. I felt like I didn't belong, like I was on the outside of the life I wanted so badly. But something inside me refused to give in. In that moment, I made a decision, one that changed everything. I decided to act like the man I wanted to become. Not fake it, embody it. From that day forward, I walked into that same cafe like I owned the place. I made eye contact. I spoke with purpose. I shook hands like a leader. I chose to become him even before the results showed up. And here's what I learned. You don't wait to be successful to act successful. You act successful and success starts finding you. This isn't fantasy, it's physics. It's how energy works. When your mind and body are in alignment with your goals, you start attracting the people, opportunities, and breakthroughs that match that energy. Napoleon Hill said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." But belief isn't just in the head, it's in how you move, how you speak, and how you live. When you act as if your dream is already real, your brain begins to rewire. It builds new habits. It makes different decisions. And slowly but surely, the outside starts reflecting the inside. This principle applies to anything. Money, health, relationships, purpose. You don't need to get there before you show up like you belong. In fact, you won't get there unless you do. You have to become before you receive. So I'll ask you, who do you need to start acting like today? The confident version of you, the wealthy version, the one who lives with peace, purpose, and power? That version isn't waiting for you down the road. It's waiting for you to step into it now. Awesome. If this message speaks to you, do 3 simple things right now.
Like this video to affirm your energy.
Chat, subscribe to stay on this journey with us. And comment the word ready below if you're done waiting and ready to act as if the dream is already yours. What you believe about yourself sets the tone for everything you do. If you walk through life thinking, "I'm not enough" or "success isn't for me," you'll make choices that prove those thoughts right. You'll hesitate. You'll back down. You'll miss out. Not because you weren't capable, but because your belief system was working against you. But the opposite is also true. When you shift your mindset and start thinking, "I'm already the kind of person who wins," you start behaving differently. You begin to take ownership. You show up earlier. You think sharper. You walk taller. And before long, the world begins to treat you differently because you're treating yourself differently. This is why acting as if is so powerful. Your brain is always watching your actions, and it learns from them. If you consistently show up like someone who is disciplined, focused, and successful, your mind says, "Okay, this is who we are now." That's how habits form. That's how transformation begins. Not with a miracle, but with a mindset that says, "I've already become it." Napoleon Hill believed that success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the person who matches the frequency of what you want. Think of it like this. If you want wealth but constantly talk about being broke, your thoughts and energy are pushing it away. But if you start thinking like someone manages money well, invests wisely, and walks with confidence, your reality will begin to shift. This doesn't mean pretending. It means choosing your perspective. It means saying, "I may not be there yet, but I am on the level of that vision now in how I move, speak, and choose." It's not about being arrogant. It's about being aligned. And this shift isn't limited to finances. Want better health? Start moving like someone who values their body. Want a fulfilling relationship? Start speaking like someone who already loves themselves. Every external result you're chasing has an internal identity waiting to be claimed. So pause and reflect. What area of your life is waiting for you to upgrade your identity? The results will always follow the version of you you're willing to embody. One of the hardest things to do is let go of your past identity. Maybe you've failed before. Maybe you've been rejected, overlooked, or doubted so many times that you've started to believe that's just who you are. But I'm here to tell you it's not. Your past does not have the right to dictate your future unless you hand it the power. Too often people say, I can't do this. I've never been that kind of person, or that kind of success isn't for me. And that becomes a script they live by day after day. But here's the truth. You are allowed to become someone new. In fact, that's what growth demands. Acting as if isn't about faking success. It's about rewriting your script. It's about standing up and saying, that may have been me yesterday, but today I'm stepping into a new version of myself. Napoleon Hill taught that belief, mixed with clear purpose and consistent action, turns into power. But belief has to start somewhere. So instead of waiting to feel confident, start by acting like someone who is confident. Instead of waiting until you're ready, act like someone who decides to be ready. That single change will open doors you didn't even know existed. I remember a time when I felt stuck, like my potential was being held back by my history. But then I asked myself, what if I just stop accepting this version of me as final? And once I started behaving like the person I wanted to be, even when it felt uncomfortable at first, everything began to shift. Not because I had arrived, but because I stopped being loyal to a story that kept me small. You don't have to wait until you feel brave, skilled, or worthy. You act as if you already are. You behave like someone who makes things happen. And slowly, the old fears lose their grip. The doubts get quieter. And your new identity becomes your new truth. So if you've been feeling like you're not ready, good. That's your sign to stop waiting and start becoming. The life you want isn't waiting for the perfect version of you. It's waiting for the decided version. Let's take this idea deeper, because belief without action is just a dream. You can affirm all day that you're confident, worthy, or successful, but until you move in that energy, nothing changes. That's the secret. Acting as if isn't just a mindset. It's a lifestyle. Think about how the most confident version of you would start their day. Would they hit snooze 5 times or get up with purpose? Would they waste hours on distractions or focus on the priorities that build their dream? Acting as if means showing up for yourself consistently, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. Napoleon Hill emphasized the power of decision. The moment you decide who you are and what you want, the universe starts rearranging itself to match your frequency. But you must back that decision with action. Walk with intention. Speak with clarity. Make bold moves that align with your future, not your fear. This is how your new identity becomes real, not by forcing it, but by living it. Day by day, choice by choice, you begin to build evidence that confirms the shift. You see progress. You build momentum. And that momentum becomes self-belief. Suddenly you're not acting anymore. You're being. And yes, there will be days when the old you creeps in. Doubt might whisper. Fear might nudge. But that's just the residue of an identity you no longer serve. Your job is to notice it, think it, and return to your higher path, because you've already made the decision, I am becoming the person I was born to be. So anchor that truth with action. Get clear on how that elevated version of you lives. Then start living that way today. The shift isn't in the future. The shift is in the now. This is the truth you need to carry forward. You're not waiting to become successful. You're not hoping for confidence or chasing happiness. You're becoming it right now. Every breath, every thought, every action is building your new reality. This principle, acting as if, changes everything because it gives your power back. You're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You're no longer living based on what has or hasn't happened yet. You're living from the energy of your highest self, the version of you that already has clarity, peace, strength, abundance, and love. And when you live from that space, the world responds. Napoleon Hill taught that the creative force behind all success is already within us. It's not something you chase, it's something you unlock. And you unlock it by embodying it. Not someday, not when the bank account changes, not when the title appears. Now, you were born with the right to live fully, boldly, and brilliantly. You were designed to create, to overcome, to shine. But you have to give yourself permission to stop shrinking, to stop waiting for validation, to stop doubting the call inside you. You already have what it takes. The decision is yours to act like it. So from this moment forward, I want you to choose differently. Breeze, choose to wake up with the energy of someone who knows where they're going. B, choose to speak with the voice of someone who commands respect and lives with vision. Then choose to move through the day as if you're already aligned with everything you desire. Because when you live like that, you attract like that. Confidence attracts opportunity. Clarity attracts results. Belief attracts the very people and paths that will carry you to the next level. This is your moment. You've already imagined the life. Now it's time to embody the one who lives it, day by day, breath by breath. You're not faking. You're activating. You're stepping into the power that was always yours. Now go be that person. Live as if the dream already belongs to you, because it does. Listen, if this message moved you, here's your next step. Talk. Like this video to affirm your belief. Subscribe to stay locked in with more mindset shifts. And comment the word becoming below to claim your identity as the version of you who already lives the life you desire. You're not just watching a video, you're rewriting your future.